Hey guys, more 613 exposed for, I guess, foundation for you guys. We do film, we as in me and my husband, he's not here right now. We film about 5-6 videos on Sunday, but this Sunday was triple booked. And it's Wednesday now. I'm trying to catch up and he isn't here to catch up with me. He's actually catching up with what he's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do this by myself with you guys. The 613, basically, it's a list that I wanted to read through for myself, but I want to share this little journey adventure with you guys. There are different formats of the 613, and the one that I chose is found on the Jewish FAQ. It's found other places, but the Jewish FAQ website is the one I'm using. I have that in the description below. They break it up by category, so all the mitzvot or commandments for God is listed. Then the ones for Torah is listed, and so on and so forth. So today's video, I have 7 for the poor and unfortunate. I'm going to have to put more into another video because there are more commandments for the poor and unfortunate category. But I need to trade hands here. I need a little bit of help. So to make things more difficult for myself, I also wanted to see the Jewish FAQ list, how it matched up with the list on Chabad. That's the more traditional layout, the more traditional format. And what I've been doing is I'll find it, I'll go through the Jewish FAQ, then I'll search for that commandment on the Chabad website, and I match it up, see what it says, and I equally see what the Bible itself says. For this poor and unfortunate category, I was having a hard time matching it up. I was having a hard time for number 41 through 50. I was having a hard time matching it up with the Chabad. They're all so similar, I was kind of unsure which one went with where. So if you want to walk this through with me, comment below, let me know how you matched up the 41 through 50 from the Jewish FAQ, how you matched up to the Chabad list. So I am going to go ahead and get in with what I got, with what I understood, with what I was able to match up. I did get tangled up on 41 through maybe 44, because the Jewish FAQ has those listed as Leviticus 19:9, Leviticus chapter 19 verse 9. And then when I went and searched for the teachings on Leviticus 19:9 or the commandments on Leviticus 19 verse 9 on the Chabad, it only lists that reference 3 times. So you have the Jewish FAQ listed 4 times and the Chabad listed only 3 times. So there's one, I have one too many on the Jewish FAQ list. That's a little bit where I got tangled up. But I'm going to read, again, the poor and unfortunate category is going to be in 2 videos. I'm going to read 7 of them here, and it's going to be number 40 through 46. Number 40, not to afflict an orphan or a widow. That's found in Exodus 22:21. In my Bible, it's Exodus 22:22. So depending on your Bible, the verses are broken up differently. That matched up with number 18 on the Chabad list. The Chabad says not to oppress the weak. And then the Bible itself says, sorry, looking for it now. I'm in the Ethiopic version of the Bible, and it's the Bible I'm reading this year, so the verbiage is a little off for me, so forgive me if I stumble. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. Alright, the next one. Number 41, not to reap the entire field. This is found in Leviticus 19:9, Leviticus 23:22. This is the one that I had a hard time finding on the Chabad list. I did match it up as best as I could to number 239 on that list, it's referenced as Leviticus 19:10. So I'll read both of those. The Chabad 239 says to leave a corner of the field uncut for the poor. And then Leviticus 19:9 says, I'm going to read 19:9 through 19:10. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of the field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. Verse 10, and thou shalt not glean the vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Okay, so the next several we'll be reading from that as well. Another reference was Leviticus 23:22. I'm going to read that as well. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou glean any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Okay, moving on to 42. 42 says to leave the unreaped corner of the field or orchard for the poor. Leviticus 19:9. And then that one matches, I matched it up with number 240. 240 on the Chabad list says not to reap that corner. So Leviticus 19:9. I'm going to read that like 4 more times, I think. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. Number 43. Not to gather gleanings, the ears that have fallen to the ground while reaping. And then that is, I matched it up with 242. That one says not to gather the gleanings. I'm not going to read from the Bible. It's Leviticus 19:9. I'll read it again in a moment. Because number 44 says to leave the gleanings for the poor. I matched it up with 241, and it probably said the exact same thing because I didn't write what the Chabad says. But that is Leviticus 19:9. Again says, and when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And then, nope. Number 45, not to gather olath, the imperfect cluster of the vineyard. That's Leviticus 19:10. I matched that up with 246. 246 of the Chabad says not to pick the unformed clusters of grapes. Leviticus 19:10. I read it a moment. Here we go again. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Number 46. This is the last one for this video. Number 46 on the Jewish FAQ list says to leave the olath, the imperfect clusters of the vineyard, for the poor. The reference for this is Leviticus 19:10 again, but also Deuteronomy 24 verse 21. I matched it up with 245. 245 says to leave the unformed clusters of grapes for the poor. So Leviticus 19:10, thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God. It's also referenced Deuteronomy 24:21. Almost there. When thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It should be for the stranger, for the fatherless and the widow. So there you go. those are the first 7 of the poor and unfortunate. Again, I had a hard time matching up from the Jewish FAQ numbers 41 through 50. I'm going to continue the list in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for any help. Bye.